The rise and fall on one of the biggest communication brands. Nokia had some humble beginnings. While Nokia may remind most of us of only mobile phones, the company in fact started out as a paper mill, which was established in 1865 by mining engineer Fredrik Idestam in southwestern Finland. However, the name Nokia wasn't yet born. It was the location of his second mill, located on the banks of the Nokian Virta River in a small town called Nokia, that inspired Fredrik to name his company Nokia AB, something which happened in 1871. After around 3 decades, the company also ventured into electricity generation. But after World War I, Nokia AB was failing and was bought out by Finnish Rubber Works, enabling the company to continue generating electricity and paper products. A third company was also destined to join the Nokia family. In 1912, Finnish Cable Works was founded and then acquired by Finnish Rubber Works 20 years later. The timing of their deal could not have been better. After the devastation of World War II, the Soviet Union was desperate to rebuild its infrastructure. For Finnish Cable Works, a company which sold telephone and electrical cables, they were positioned to make a fortune. While the 3 companies were jointly owned, they continued to work independently until 1967, when they were finally merged and Nokia Corporation was born. The newly formed company mainly focused on 4 markets: paper, electronics, rubber, and cable. In 1979, Nokia entered into a joint venture with leading Scandinavian color TV manufacturer called Salora to create Mobira, a radio telephone company. A few years later, Nokia launched the world's first international cellular system, named Nordic Mobile Telephone Network, which linked Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Finland. This was followed by the launch of the company's world's first car phone, Mobira Senator, which weighed in at around 10 kilograms. The year also marked the launch of Mobira Talkman, which was advertised as one of the first transportable phones. This means it could be used both in and out of a car, although it was still around 5 kilograms. 3 years later, the company introduced its first compact phone called Mobira Cityman, which was also the world's first handheld mobile telephone. Despite weighing around 800 grams and carrying a price tag of around $5,000, the phone became iconic and was nicknamed the Gorba after the Soviet Union president, Mikhail Gorbachev. He used it to make a call from Helsinki to Moscow during a press conference in October 1987. The following year brought a tough phase for the company as it witnessed a sharp drop in profits, owing to severe price competition in the consumer electronics markets, and its chairman Kari Karamo committed suicide in the same year due to stress. The new leadership brought some spectacular changes, dividing the company into 6 units: telecommunications, consumer electronics, cables, data, mobile phones, and basic industries. In 1990s, Nokia's top leadership decided to focus solely on the telecommunications market, and as a result, the company's data, power, television, tire, and cable units were sold off in the first few years of the decade. In 1991, world's first GSM call was made by the then Finnish Prime Minister, Harry Holkeri. Unsurprisingly, it was made using Nokia equipment. The next year, the company's first handheld GSM phone Nokia 1011 was launched. A couple of years later, the company launched its 2100 series of phones, which were also the first to feature the iconic Nokia Tune ringtone. While Nokia projected to sell 400,000 units, the series turned out to be around 20 million units sold worldwide, a number that catapulted the company to the top. The spectacular success of Nokia's 6100 series, the company sold nearly 41 million cellular phones in 1998, helped the company surpass Motorola and become the world's top cellular phone maker. It's worth mentioning that the Nokia 6100 was the first phone that came with the classic Snake game pre-installed. Nokia's net sales increased over 50% year-on-year, operating profits shot up nearly 75%, and stock price skyrocketed a whopping 220%, resulting in an increase of market capitalization from nearly $21 billion to around $70 billion. The 2000s, a new era. Although Nokia was the world leader in the mobile phones market, the new decade brought along a new set of challenges for the company. The wireless and internet technologies were converging, and the third generation of wireless technology that promised enhanced multimedia capability was evolving. Responding to the changes, the Finnish company started churning out both sophisticated multimedia handsets as well as low-end devices. The year 2001 saw the company launching the Nokia 7650, its first phone to feature a built-in camera and a full-color display. A big hiccup came in 2007, when the company had to recall a whopping 46 million faulty cell phone batteries. What's even worse was that the batteries, which were manufactured between 2005 and 2006, appeared in a wide range of Nokia phones, which meant that a large part of the company's device portfolio was affected. What's also truly amazing is their domination of the industry. They had become the world's largest mobile phone provider, a position they held for 14 years. It appeared nothing could stop the rise of Nokia. And then, this happened.
And we are calling it iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
In the same year, Apple introduced the iPhone, which would mark the beginning of the end for Nokia. The iPhone was more than a sleek device made from premium materials, a major upgrade from the cheap-feeling plastic used by other smartphones at the time. It was also the world's first smartphone to feature a multi-touch display. Overnight, the smartphone touchscreen revolution was born. The world would begin its shift away from physical plastic to digital on-screen keyboards. Over the next few years, Nokia's global market share would crater to less than 5%. Today, its stock price has plummeted over 90% since the iPhone's debut. Nokia's greatest lesson: to be wary of complacency. Innovation went both ways. On one hand, the advent of 1G enabled their success. On the other hand, it was their unwillingness to take risks, which allowed Apple the opportunity to steal their throne. Apple also introduced the App Store. The main problem with Windows phones, like Nokia, was the limited number of apps, and the App Store was allowing everyone to create and share their apps. Nokia sales declined further in 2012 and 2013. The state of Nokia deteriorated to a point where it was going to become bankrupt. To avoid such a situation, Microsoft stepped in and bought Nokia's mobile phone division for $7.2 billion and changed the company to a network and 5 grams model. Nokia is currently the front-runner in the race to provide 5G technology in the world. Nokia Networks is the largest subsidiary of the Nokia Corporation. Nokia is once again paving to the top, and this time the past mistakes won't get repeated.